A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic move, the office of Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas has called on the United States government to reverse its recent decision to revoke his visa. This decision comes just weeks before Abbas is scheduled to appear at the United Nations annual meeting and an international conference aimed at establishing a Palestinian state. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the revocation of visas for Abbas and 80 other Palestinian officials, a move disclosed by the State Department on Friday. The Palestinian representatives assigned to the UN mission, however, were granted exceptions, allowing them to continue their work at the international body. The visa revocation is part of a broader strategy by the Trump administration to impose restrictions on Palestinian officials, which has raised concerns about the implications for peace negotiations in the region. The State Department justified the action by stating it is in the national security interests of the U.S. to hold the Palestine Liberation Organization, PLO, and the Palestinian Authority, PA, accountable for not adhering to their commitments and for actions perceived as undermining peace efforts. Palestinian presidential spokesperson Nabil Abu Radana expressed strong disapproval of the U.S. decision, labeling it as a violation of U.S. commitments as the host country of the United Nations. He emphasized that the revocation will only exacerbate tensions in an already volatile situation. We call upon the American administration to reverse its decision. This decision will only increase tension and escalation, Abu Radana stated during a press conference in Ramallah. In response to the visa revocation, the Palestinian Authority has been actively engaging with Arab and foreign nations to rally support against the U.S. decision. Abu Radana mentioned that discussions are ongoing with countries that have a vested interest in the issue, particularly those involved in organizing the upcoming high-level conference on September 22nd, which aims to revive efforts for a two-state solution in the Middle East. This conference is co-hosted by France and Saudi Arabia. French Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot has publicly protested the restrictions placed on access to the UN General Assembly, asserting that the UN headquarters should remain a neutral space dedicated to resolving conflicts. The United Nations headquarters is a place of neutrality, a sanctuary dedicated to peace, where conflicts are resolved. The UN General Assembly cannot suffer any restrictions on access, Barrot stated. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez also expressed his support for Abbas, labeling the visa denial as unjust. During a conversation with Abbas, Sánchez reiterated that Palestine has the right to voice its concerns at the United Nations and in all international forums. This diplomatic development coincides with escalating military actions in Gaza, where the Israeli military has declared Gaza City's largest area a combat zone, citing it as a stronghold of Hamas. The situation in Gaza has become increasingly dire, with reports of severe humanitarian crises, including food shortages affecting women and children. The head of the UN Food Agency has called for urgent aid, pressing Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu to allow humanitarian assistance to reach those in need. The U.S. government's visa restrictions have drawn criticism from various international leaders and organizations, highlighting the challenges faced by the Palestinian leadership in engaging with global institutions. As the Palestinian Authority continues to seek support from the international community, the implications of the U.S. visa revocation remain to be seen, particularly in the context of ongoing peace efforts in the region. With the UN General Assembly meeting approaching, the Palestinian Authority's ability to participate meaningfully in discussions surrounding the future of Palestine and the peace process is now uncertain, raising concerns about the potential for increased tensions in the area. The international community watches closely as the situation evolves, with calls for dialogue and resolution becoming ever more urgent in the face of escalating conflicts. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.